Hello and welcome back to the full story of Far Cry 5, Episode 2, Dutch's Bunker. Today we're going to take a look around Dutch's bunker and see what we find that's interesting and see what he has to say. And Dutch is the guy who pulled us from the river in the last episode. Here we have a rancher built for the toughest roads poster. And over here we have some scratches for the weeks that someone was in here, which totals up to 126 weeks, or roughly 2.5 years. Next to this we see our bed, probably Dutch's personal bed, and some books, as well as some war pictures and possibly a young Dutch, as well as a scene with the helicopter and most possibly Vietnam. Going on around, we see that Dutch was a very decorated soldier, and we see a newspaper clip that says local man has right to use his own water. Here we see some more medals from the army that Dutch had earned. And here we see a newspaper clip that says family ensconced saved by local drunk. So Dutch just doing the Lord's work. And here we see that that is a Vietnam War Veterans Memorial picture there. So Dutch had definitely been in the Vietnam War, and we see the world is a diagonal and I am the balancing point scratched into the wall, with the picture of the Vietnam American flag, and it looks like he was in the 82nd Airborne with various other Vietnam patches. Going out of our starting room, we head into the medical room and take a quick look around. We see a medical table with a bedpan and some scientific post-it notes, and the periodic table on right above it, and some element drawings, I believe. Also, we see an eye exam in the distance, as well as a sink and another poster of Love at First Sight with a muscle car on it, with the guy looking at it, essentially saying he loved it at first sight, and I can't blame him. Also, we see a Hope County calendar and some more newspapers, and we see several ones. Falls in shot, Hope County Cougars win, Hope County Cougars wins again, says man's best friend abandoned. Says a few repeat on third time's a charm, as well as some more periodic table and scientific post-it note. Here we see our first CB. Let's see what it says.
Please, anyone there? Peggy's rolled in here like an army, started throwing people into trucks, taking our food, and then I just heard nothing but gunfire. People are dying. Please, someone help us! Don't know how much longer we can hold out. Please, begging you, if you've got a gun, get to Falls End. John C's taking the whole town. Eden's Gate lost their minds. They're gonna kill us all. If anyone's listening, Pastor Jerome and I will do whatever we can. Eden's Gate won't take us alive.
So we get a message from Falls End that says, it's essentially asking people to grab a gun, come help. The Colts coming and taking over. And we get a mention of a man named Pastor Jerome, someone that we probably will get to meet soon. As we head into the next room, we see various posters like Easy to Use, They'll Love It, as well as Lease Logger and the Dragonfly Rent One Now, and the Whitetails State Park. We also come upon a letter on a desk reading, April 27, 2015. Dad, I got your message. Good to hear they're dropping the charges. We'll try to come out for a part of the summer. Ricky wants to show you how he's riding without training wheels. But Ann's got a lot of work at the college. I know how much it means to you, so we'll try. Only, please lay off the homeschooling talk, okay? It's not right for me or Ann. And the school in South Street is one of the best. And let's keep the prepping activities to a minimum. I know Ricky loves it, but it freaks Ann out. Talk soon, Robbie. So I believe it's safe to say that Robbie is Dutch's son, and that him and his wife are not too keen on him teaching their son his prepping ways. But, I don't think it could hurt, but to each their own. Here we see another letter that reads, Hope County Chronicle letter, October 13, 2014. Dear Mr. Roosevelt, I'd like to interview you about your recent altercation with the government officials over your right to collect rainwater. My understanding is that you had applied for a permit, but it was overturned, leading to your nights in the jail and ongoing court case. I'd like to confirm that your official statement to the court that water is a God-given right and the government stealing our resources from under us is up to us to defend our individual rights and liberties. Also, did you really tell the judge, yeah, you bet your lily white tail I'm in contempt of you? Please let me know if you'll go on record. Jeb Boyd, Hope County Chronicle. Man, Dutch is insane. I really like Dutch. I really like him a lot. Walking out, we see a door that requires a key. So we're going to look out for it, and then we see various supplies down through the hallway. See what we got here. Some dried apples, some dry food, as well as some building supplies, it looks like.
Eli, Mary, Jerome.
And in the distance we hear Dutch.
Anyone there? Over.
Let's investigate.
Anyone hearing me? This is Dutch. Come in. Anybody? I said this is... Hello? Check, check. This. You ready to work? I didn't properly introduce myself back there. Most folks call me Dutch. I've been trying to piece together what's happening up top. It ain't good. Little I can gather is that your partners are alive. For now. Seems they've been split up. Each one handed off to a different member of Joseph's family. You want them back, I get it. I got friends that've been taken too. Problem is, there ain't no help coming. Nobody knows what's going on here, and they won't know until it's too late. There's gotta be people out there willing to fight back against this cult. We need to show them how. We need to build us a resistance. So the first thing we're gonna do is get control of this island. Once we got some breathing room, we can figure out what's coming next. There's a gun and a map in the safe over there. Take them. I'll give you a call on your radio once you get your bearings.
Alright, let's go get this gun and this map and see what we can do to build this resistance. Oh, key.
Be careful out there. It's crawling with Peggy's. Those fuckers are willing to die for that psychopath that's leading them. Kids, man. Kids will kill you. First thing they'll do is ruin your sleep for good. No matter how old they are, you'll never sleep well again. Next, you do your best to toughen them up for a cold, hard world. But then they're the ones that end up breaking your heart.
I think it's clear to say that Dutch is pretty sad about his son and his grandson moving away, as we read in the letters earlier, and his attempt to teach his grandson how to prep. And we seen that his daughter-in-law wasn't too happy about that, so it seems to have hindered his relationship with his son. Around the room that we find Dutch in several interesting things, like this Roscoe Brothers poster, as well as these TVs that show obvious cameras that he has laid out on his island here. We see a big map of Hope County and the 3 sections of the siblings that we learned that all of our partners have been taken to, one to each sibling. Over here we have another map that shows all the pictures of the various siblings in Joseph's seed. Reading the one by Jacob, we see Jacob Seed the soldier, oldest brother of the Seeds, in charge of training their militia up in the Whitetail Mountains. The only thing he believes in is sacrifice the weak. Seems to be running a few psychological experiments up north, all sorts of nightmare stories about people turning on one another at the drop of a hat. Has been linked to the creation of the monster wolves up north and the cult calls Judges. Now let's take a look at John Seed here. John Seed the Baptist, youngest of the Seed brothers and maybe the most sadistic, in charge of recruiting for the cult, marking, cleansing, confession, atonement. Those are the 4 steps he puts everyone through to become a member of Eden's Gate, if they survive. John tells everyone to accept the power of yes as a way to get his followers to do whatever he wants. Grade A psychopath. Let's take a look at little sis here. Faith, the siren. Don't know she's related. Seems like she just showed up one day. She'll spin you a sob story, but Faith is a liar and a manipulator. She'll poison your mind with bliss if you give her the chance. Anyone who goes wandering into the Henbane River winds up either dead or walking the path to become one of those brain-dead angels doing all the cult's hard labor.
To whoever is in the prison, are you there? What's your status? Hello? Can you hear me? Hello?
Now for the big man himself, Joseph Seed, the father. Leader of the project of Eden Gates, he believes a great collapse is coming and thinks of himself as a modern-day Noah. Thinks God speaks to him, told him to save as many souls as he can. Now that he started the reaping, his followers are willing to die for him. He's had his people build 3 massive bunkers to protect themselves when his prophecy comes true. This guy is an absolute nut job.
1 2 1 2. 1 2 1 2. This is Dutch. Anybody? Anybody copy?
Poor Dutch can't get anyone on the radio. Let's go see if this key unlocks this door and what's inside. Okay. Oh, there we go. So, looks like an armory. Lots of guns and ammo. Looking around the armory, we come upon another letter. It reads, Letter to Dutch, January 20th, 2016. Dad, we aren't going to be able to be visiting anymore. Last time was the last straw. We said we didn't want Ricky shooting, but you just won't listen. He could have killed himself. My son isn't going to grow up thinking the end of the world was right around the corner. He's 5, and he's having nightmares about nuclear war. What the heck, Dad, is wrong with you? I thought we were past this, but you never change. Ann's taking a job down in Texas, and I'll be able to find work down there easy. I won't be sending our address. I'm sorry, Dad. I hope one day you can find help you need. Robbie. Man, well, I guess it's safe to say things with Dutch and his family aren't that great. You know, Dutch is trying to be a good grandfather, teaches grandson some skills, and then son doesn't want it. And, you know, to each their own. Going through the bunker itself, we see some large bags of long grain rice and some other supplies. Then we walk in this cool room, fish tank. And it looks like to be the kitchen of the bunker here. And we got another Whitetail Park poster. But yeah, look, check out this fish tank. It's pretty cool. With a big old bass above it. And a picture of a dog. Searching the room, we find another letter. Local fights to use water. Richard Dutch Roosevelt served 2 nights in jail for contempt of court after consenting his right to collect rainwater in what the state has defined as a reservoir. Mr. Roosevelt has operated this rainwater collection without a proper permit in flagrant violation of Montana laws, said the Water Resource Department Deputy Director Edwin Garcia. Mr. Roosevelt is contesting the charges. And we actually saw the news article earlier in this video. He had, I believe it's the first frame we're in, he had posted on the wall about that. Looking around the room, we also find a answer machine. Let's see what it says.
Dutch, you there? This is Ray Ray. What the hell is going on? We've heard a miss of gunshots, and I swore that weren't thunder earlier, but a couple of explosions. Boomer's all riled up and won't settle down. Is this more of them Peggy's bullshit? How much are we gonna stand for? Anyway, call me back when you can, and take care of yourself.
So we get an ominous message from Ray Ray talking about she's hearing gunshots and stuff's blowing up, and we hear about a boomer. And I wonder who Boomer is. Possibly a pet? Going on to Net's room, we see this is Dutch's workshop, and not much else. It's just some tools and like his utility part of the bunker. Making our way back out. Looks like we're getting towards the end here. Yeah, see a empty gun rack, and see lots of building supplies. I'm a welder by trade, and I could tell it's angle iron over there. Some more rusty angle iron, and oh, a shovel. Now the shovel is fun. You can actually launch it at enemies and pin them. And as we leave to the last section of the bunker, we see "Don't drop the soap," but the "don't" is scratched out, so it looks like Dutch is a little long. So, a lot to unpack. We come across several letters from Robbie to Dutch, and Robbie is Dutch's son. Things don't seem to be going too well. Seems like Ann doesn't really care for Dutch's lessons to their son about the apocalypse. And we learned that Dutch is trying to get in touch with people outside of the community, but he can't get an answer from anyone, and he's freaking out. You know, we learn a little bit about the siblings. So stay tuned. The next episode will be liberating Dutch's island, and we can find out more about people outside the bunkers in. Thank you, and if you liked the video, please like and subscribe.